Good afternoon, everybody. Let's dive straight into another stream of creating GUI apps in Rust using Cushy. So we're building pick and place machine software, and we're looking at the planning side of things for those who haven't been following along. And yeah, let's just dive straight back into it. So yesterday we created this dialogue, and it's totally fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. No. It's perfect. No. There's a few things wrong. One of which is the error handling. So if I go design A, variant A, and I went through what a design and a variant is yesterday in the stream. Right. So you say, I want to build design A, variant A, and I've got a single one of those on my desk or my pick and place machine. So it's PCB instance 1, and because it's a single unit, there's only one on it. If it's a panel, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, however many there were on the panel. Right? And everything's totally fine, right? And you click OK, and it created a unit assignment. But there was a problem, and the user doesn't know about it. What was the problem? Let's look back up through the log, and we will see the problem. Okay, here we are. So it says error. Show error, operation error. And it says caused by the system cannot find a file specified. But the user didn't specify a file. They just typed in some stuff and pressed OK. But the system needed a file in order for it to work. The file that it was looking for was a file name built from the design name and variant name with another bit added to the end of it and .csv on the end of it. And that is the placements file for the design variant. Let's have a look at the CLI version of this app so that we can see what the system was expecting. The CLI version. Right. So when we do the same thing using this CLI version of this program, and then we've got a sequence of tests for doing this. This is the sequence over here for those interested. So firstly, it creates a job, then it adds a PCB, then it assigns a variant. And before it can assign a variant, it has to create some files which the user will have created beforehand. Right? One of those things is a file called design A _ variant A _ placements.csv. And that is the file that it's complaining about that is missing in the example I just did. And that should contain, it's a CSV file which basically should contain a bunch of placements. And these are the reference designators and the location on the PCB and which side it's on and the manufacturer name and part number. That's what's supposed to be in the file currently. And the rotation for it as well. Yeah, but the user pressed OK in the dialog and the form accepted it. And then an error occurred. And there's a few ways we can handle this. One, we can show the error, and that's probably a useful thing to do. But we can do better. We can have it so the user doesn't even get to the error. And that's what I think we should do. So, I mean, I titled this video error handling, but maybe we don't do error handling yet. I don't know. It's the way it goes with software development, right? You think you're going to do something, but you end up doing something completely different instead. What I think we could do is when we go create unit assignment, we have another thing at the bottom, I don't know, just underneath this design and variant name, right? Which shows you the expected file name that it's going to try and look for. And then it can show a little green tick if that file exists in the current directory or in the directory for the project, right? And then it won't let the user continue unless it's valid. Now, I've no idea how to do that yet. So we're going to find out. Because essentially it's one of these weird validation issues where it's like, is everything on the whole form valid? Or is it, 2 or 3 of the fields combined making something that needs validation? And in the past, I've called these group validations. Now, I don't know whether Cushy has any kind of support for group validations whatsoever yet. So we're going to get creative now. So, yeah, let's cancel that. Let's look back at the code. So, this is our... Where is it? This is where we create the dialog, make widget. And we create a name label and a variant label. And we create 2 validations. And it says, this is valid if it's a valid design name. And this is valid if it's a valid variant name. And independently, that is correct, right? But you combine those 2 things, and then you add like a suffix to it, and then you've got to check for a file. And if those 2 things combined, plus the file exists, then that group is valid. So how do we create like a validation for something that's not a form element? I mean, I guess we could make it like a read-only input, and then it would technically be a form thing, which we could attach validations to. That might be one way of doing it, because we kind of want to show what it is anyway. Let's go with that. Let's try that. What are we going to call this? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to borrow these. Right. And for now, I'm just going to stick it at the bottom here. Because I don't want to deal with renaming things. I'll deal with it later though. Placements file. File name. Yeah, go on, let's go with that. Sure. Right. So input variant name. No, so this is placement file name. I suppose. And this doesn't have a placeholder. Well, I guess no. I don't think it has a placement. I don't think it has a placeholder. Right, we don't have a file name thing here. Yeah, you see, but how and when is this value going to get updated? Okay, let's pretend that we've got that, right? What's going to update it? We'll come back to that. Okay, let's add the validator. Oh dear, this is. No, I'm not sure if this is the right way of doing this, but we're going to find out. So we're going to go function and then one of these, and it's going to take a file name and it's going to give us something back. And we're just going to say error. we're going to localize the error. But instead of doing that, it's going to be form. What is this going to be? We've got this stuff. We need to find out. We need to determine a key for this validation thing. I suppose this really isn't just a file name. This is placements file name. Placement file name. Let's say not found, because that's the likely use case. That's the likely problem. You know, maybe the system can't read the file, but that's another thing. Maybe the contents is incorrect, and that's another thing for which we might later need error handling. But we'll come back to that. But we're just making sure the file is present for now. So we're just going to say it can't be found. But I suppose we can check for it. What? File. I don't want to create it. I don't want to open it. I just want to make sure it exists. I don't know. How do you see if the file exists? I have no idea. I mean, I kind of want to do that and just go, if exists, blah, 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 blah. I kind of want to do this, right? Oh, it's lazy. Something like that. Is it path? But do we do it from a path buffer? Or just a path? Ah, there's a path exists. Okay. File placements. Path, I suppose. Let's go with that. Maybe that works. Well, it might compile, but we didn't add it to the grid, did we? So we've got this row. I'm going to rename these other ones and reorganize the code in a bit, but I want to put it somewhere here. Not there. Here. Got to row 6. They're all out of order, but we'll come back and fix that. Don't worry. And this isn't going to work because of what I said earlier. Because of this placement file name is never updated. And we just allowed the user to type it in, which is stupid. We don't want that. Can we make it read-only? Do we just make another label? Can you add validations to a label? Probably not. I don't know. Let's try and add validations to this label and see if the... Oh, there is a validation for it. That's interesting. Okay, in which case... What do we do? Suppose we go label new. Can we? Should be able to. We've got a validation for it, but oh no. Text, yeah. Into read only. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Let's just see if that compiles. Just it's not going to, but why? Type annotations needed. Why? It gives us a do we do into label here instead? Yeah, the API is a bit funky like that. So we've got a label and we can add validations to a label. And that's probably more useful. But we still have got the problem of like it's never changed yet, right? So it needs to change when either the design name or the variant name changes. I mean, there's on key, but I don't really care about key presses. I just want to know when it changes. I also don't know about the order of validations. So I think it might not be a good idea if I was to assume that the label input that we just added was going to run after the other ones. Because it might not, it might run first. Is there a guarantee about the order that the validations run in? Is what I'm now wondering. Because I kind of want an on change handler, and then I can just copy the current value of it out of it and then update the file name from whatever the current value is. Let's just try doing it on key just for fun. I don't know what's going to be in here. On key. I mean, is this the key? It is a key event. And I suppose we have to return something like this. I'm not sure. It wants one of these. Is it? Event ignored. Okay. Let's just see what happens. Let's go debug and then print out the current value of design name. Oops. We're going to do that, but we probably can't do that. We probably need to clone that here, but not get it, clone it. And then get it there, maybe? Something? Maybe? And then we need to move that into there. Let's see if that compiles. Okay, that compiled. So let's see what happens when we try and type into the design name box. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, fine. We haven't got a translation, but so it says J. And that, yeah, okay, that might work. Fine. Okay, so let's say we don't actually need this here. What we're going to do is go something like, what? Self.update placements file name. And then create that somewhere up here, perhaps. Yeah, maybe here. And then it's gonna what? There. Oh no. Self.placements file name is format, I suppose. And then a thing, another thing, and then placements.csv, right? And then we need the two things, which it magically worked out. And then we've got to go .toString on it, perhaps. Oh, and then we've got to go set. And perhaps import that. Yeah, that might work. And let's just split it up onto a couple of lines. And let's say, oops. Let's give that a better name. Yeah, something like that. Let's compile that. Talk about itself as mutable. Great. How do we do that? I mean, we could make it mutable, but I don't really want to. I suppose what we could do. No. I don't really want to clone the dynamics and call some random associated function that's not on self. I kind of want to make this mutable. Let's see what errors this brings to us. So it still can't do this because it doesn't know what self is, and it can't borrow that. Life is pain. No. Can't do it here. No. No, what we've got to do is something more involved, clearly. Like reactive frameworks. No. What we're probably going to have to do. Oh, it pains me. It just the amount of effort required to do this stuff is for what benefit? I don't know. I'm not sold on these reactive frameworks at all yet. No, what we're going to have to do is send a message somewhere to say this. You need to update yourself. So instead of doing that, we're going to go sender.send create assignments form message update placement file name, and then do that. But we don't have a sender, we don't have a message, we don't have any update method, we don't have our switch statement to do it, and we don't have any handling in the parent for messages of create unit form message. There's got to be a better way of doing this. It's what you're supposed to do. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I guess we need a sender, and this is going to be self.sender.clone because, you know, you're in a closure and you need it. And then we're going to have to create a message type. Oh dear. And then this is going to be a pub enum whatever. And this is going to have derive, if I can spell it right, derive debug on it because you need to. And then it's going to have a type which is this, which goes there, right? And then at some point, we're going to have an update function, which is going to be given a mutable cell. And it's going to be given a message. And the type of message is going to be this one. And then we match on that message. And then if it's that one, we actually call this. Right? But at the moment, nothing's calling this update method. But let's just see if this compiles. Oh, we don't have a sender yet. Okay, so we need a sender. And we need a sender of type this. Because we do. Got to send it somewhere. And it needs to be the cushy channel. And it doesn't have default on it. Which means our life is even more painful than it was before. Because senders don't have defaults. Yes. I think they should. I'm going to mention this in the Cushy Discord. I'm just making a note. API-wise, I'm wishing that sender T implemented default. Pretty much everywhere I've got, I'll use the sender in a struct. The struct has had derive default on it. There. Right. I have voiced my concerns. Okay, so Let's just have a quick look at the sender API just to see if we can do that, because it might be less painful than the alternative. Send. I mean, let's just do it here. No, not here. Let's do it in another window. This one. Let me find it. This one. Let me switch on to another branch first. Oh, master, main. What is it today? Okay. Check out HB. Then the API improvements 1. Okay. Right. So we've got this sender thing. Channels example. Sender, right, and then this is in here, and then we've got a build, and we've got the sender class, which is what I'm trying to find. So if we try going import default for sender T. Oh, we kind of need that, and it needs this channel data. And maybe you can't. No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can do it. I'm gonna ignore that, because the sender needs to be created by the channel. You can't have a default one of it, can you? No. That's not gonna work. But alas, no. Okay, fine. So, no chance of getting a default on there. That's annoying. What do we do? I mean, we can't implement default because there's no way to set this. We can have an optional sender which can be default. I don't like the idea of that. I might be willing to do it because the alternative is hideous. I mean, we could have a maybe on init in here as well, but that's also like unsafe and not a good idea, probably. Let's just go the option route then. Go on. And now it can be default and everything's fine again. But now we've caused ourselves a problem. We've caused ourselves a problem because... Oh, this is... Man, this isn't mutable. I mean, our make widget could take the thing, but no, we can't, because no. Okay, let's do it a different way. Okay, let's split this up. What? Field? Data? State? Let's go with state. Okay, so we're going to do this. And then we're going to have the form, which has got a sender. Should the validations be on here? Or is the validations part of the state? I don't think the sender is part of the state, but I think the validations is part of the state, because the validations has methods on it like is valid and so on. So I'm going to leave that inside there, right? And then what we're going to do is go state and then that. That way, this can have default on it, and I don't have the pain of that. And then we keep our sender separate from it. Okay, fine. And then this is all going to be on here. And then I suppose that stays on there. State. And then this method moves in here. And then we do that, maybe? Oops, daisy. That should be on here. And this needs to be on... I mean, does it? Oh, no, it should... Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, dear. We're going to have lots of these, aren't we? Fine. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it, and we're just going to see what happens. Oh, dear. And somewhere in that make widget, there was a... I think I shouldn't have gone to the top of the file to find that. Okay, here. No. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that's what we need. Okay. So we move all the validation code into the state, and we have the sender and the updated fields on the non-state thing, probably. Oh yeah. And we expect the message to be sent when we send it. This thing. Yeah. And we also want the same on-key handling on the variant name while I'm here looking at it. And that was before the placeholder. Let's put it. Oh yeah, it does need to be there. Yeah. Okay. So that both of those two fields send the message to have the file name updated based on the contents of the fields, which then allow the validation to work later, I suppose. Okay. And of course, this isn't going to compile. And as I said earlier, nothing is currently calling this update method. So let's just click compile and just deal with the other things that we find. Okay, I missed that one when I went through these things, so that's fine. Right, this is where we're creating the form. So, no. We go new, and we need to give it a sender, but we don't have a sender yet. We're going to have to make one. And we need a new method. Let's make the new method first. Yeah. Fun, new. It gives us a cell. But in order to do that, it needs to fill in some fields. And to fill in some fields, we need some arguments. The state is going to be default, but the sender is going to be a sender. So the sender needs to be passed in. And this needs to be a sender of type Create unit. Form. No, assignment. Form message. Coafum. It needs to be one of those. Okay. So now we can call new on it. And it gives us the sender. I think this needs to be public. And this one does as well. All right, and now that goes away. So now we still need the sender. Okay, so we need to get one of those from somewhere. Let's take it from self because it needs to be permanent. The reason it needs to be permanent is because the message can occur at any time, and therefore the channel needs to be available at any time so that you can send the update message to it. You'll see in a moment. But I guess we need a create units assignment form sender, a quaff sender. That's what we need, but we don't have one. So we got a modal for it, and we need a sender for it, and this is going to be a sender of create unit. One of those. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, we do want that. Yeah. Let's clone it because we can't move it. And therefore we need to initialize one of these somewhere. Because we need it here, right? No. Oh no. So we're creating modals at this point. I suppose we could. This make widget here is not the same as the other make widget implementation, so it's mutable, so it can create the things when it need to, which is what we're doing for the other things. So, oh dear. Should we have a new state object that contains these two things and put them in the option? Probably. Okay, let's get it working first separately and then see if we need to do that. So we're going to have an optional sender because I don't like the fact that we've got two options for one thing which is created later. Because these two things are for the form. I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to call it this. And then it's more obvious that those two things belong together, right? In their own little object. And then that object should be wrapped in an option here. But for now, let's just go with it. So we've got to create a channel which does some stuff. And when we're creating a widget, we do a similar thing where we're creating the toolbar, and then we create a channel for the toolbar, and then we have an on-receive handler for it. And then we pass the sender to the thing that creates the toolbar, so that the toolbar buttons can have somewhere to send the messages to. So we're going to do the same thing, but for the modal. So let's create the channel. Let the sender and receiver be a pushy channel of type build. And let's go, yeah, dot finish. Right, so we've got these two things, and now we've got our sender, which we can put in the create dot replace with this, right? And everything's fine. And then we need to create the mapping for this on receive thing. Created it, yeah, we do it straight away. Fine. We'll do the same thing here. So then we've got our receiver, but we don't need to hold on to the receiver. We just need to call on receive on it. Let's call this form message here. And the way that this works is going to be like the other one. You need a project message sender, I suppose. And then we have to go project message sender, send. And then it's going to be not one of these. It's going to be something like that. And then we'll add the error handling. Not a match, map error. And then if an error occurs, you get the whole message back. And you have to say error. Good, with a capital, could not forward the message. Could not forward, what is it? Form. Do we need to do this? Am I going about this the wrong way? Hold on a second. Am I thinking about this the wrong way around? No, it does need to send it somewhere, and then that needs to happen. And yeah, no, we're good. And then the project update method is going to get called, which is going to handle that message, which is going to then call the update method on the form. Yes, we're okay. We're okay. Cannot forward form message. And then we've got the message. And then if it's not an error, it's okay. And it's complaining bitterly about something. I don't know why. What have I done wrong? Widget instance, but found ... Oh. Why have I got too many? Oh, that's it. I had an unexpected brace. So now we need to add this to that. And it's done this. But this type probably isn't public. Oh, it is public. Why is it complaining then? Probably because it doesn't implement something that is needed. Clone. And now it's happy. Okay. So that's fine, but this isn't fine. Project message doesn't implement display. Really? Oh, that's because this is supposed to be colon question mark. Okay. And I've typed message wrong. Okay. Right, so we've got when a message gets sent from the form, it gets received by the project. The project then delegates that the project wraps it in create unit assignment form message and then sends that to the project message sender, which is received by something else, which received by something else, which then gets passed all the way back down the stack again. And then eventually the update method gets called. But now we've got to deal with the form message here. So we've got project message. So once the message comes back to us, it comes in here. And then in here, we go... Well, where's the... We need a form. We've got a modal. Well, we don't have a form to call update on because we need to go form.update, right? With the message. That's what we need to do. And this might return a task. It's so painful. All I want to do is just, you know, update some mutable state. No, you can't do any of that. Reactive framework. No. Updating mutable state? Are you mad? Are you mad? Well, we don't have this form. We've got a problem. Okay, so we've got a method which creates the form. It was called something like show form or something. I don't even remember what it was called now. I can't see it in my list either. Where is it? Ah, here it is. That's why I can't see it. It wasn't expanded. Create the modal. And we get the form here. But then what happens to this form? Show is called on it. No, a reference is given to this. So we've got this. We own this. So I suppose... we can go self.form replace, because there's only allowed to be one of these with the form, right? And then we're gonna pass a reference to self.create unit assignments form instead. And then we're going to add that field, and it's going to be a create unit assignment form. But it can't be. It needs to be an option. Fine. Which means we need another one here, which is going to be that. And then we're going to need the other two things from here. And put them in the other constructor, and everything's fine. And then we can go back to our update method. And then we can futz around with this. Oh, I suppose we can go if let some form is that. Oh dear no. Oh dear no. Then do this. Else it should be unreachable. And let's just do that as well. Does unreachable take a thing? What's the problem now? Image project action. Oh, and this needs to return something. It needs to return a project action. But at the moment, it doesn't. There's no action to do. Oh no. Oh no. Is that going to work? Let's see what we can do. Form is this. Replace the form. What have we done? Expected sender, create unit same, but we found an optional sender. Yeah, it's true, it did. Are we going to go as ref and then clone it, maybe? Oh, wait. Dot unwrap? Yeah. And then this is moaning because wrapper widget is not implemented for the form. Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Let's have a look at that. Because we implemented make widget for... Okay, I think we're just passing... Wait. Oh, no, no. Oh, dot unwrap. As ref. Right. Yeah, we need to do that. Yeah. Okay, next. Cannot borrow display create. Okay, well we need to do that. It's true, so this does need to be mutable. Okay, but can it be mutable? Should be able to be mutable. Because this is mutable. Yes, we're okay. Validation doesn't exist in the form, so this is supposed to be the form state. Should form result be on the state? I don't think it should. Should we just create another method and delegate it? Because we've got this result thing. Should this look in the state? Should we just delegate to it? I feel like delegating to it. I don't know. Should we move it? I don't know. I think we should move it. Now that I think about it. Result. This is a stupid amount of changes to do this form validation. So self.state.validations, and then we're going to go state, and then we've got to go .state everywhere. Okay. Now what? Build state of struct is private. Yeah, it's true. It is. This validations method just gets that. So I suppose we could move that onto here and go self.date.validations and then not do that, and then it's not a problem. Okay. And now we've got it's moved because we put it here. And then it's moaning about what? Oh yeah, this one. Oh no. Hmm. Okay. Let's just put form here. We can do that. And let's see where it complains now. Really? Oh no. Where does it escape? Oh, perhaps we need to get the form validations first. Okay, let me undo that. And let's steal the validations here. Can we clone them? Maybe. Where's it moaning about the form? Let's clone the validations here again. So that this one is using a cloned one and not the one that comes from the form. No, we've still got a problem. Where? Why? What's moved? It moves the form, but why? Oh, yeah, I mean, you can't. Can we do that here? And do that there? Probably not. Do we still get the same problem? Yes. Oh, this is fantastic. Because it wants to use it here. Yeah, you see the build widget thing probably on the wrong place. Oh, nightmare. So, not that then. Why do we need self in make widget? We got self.sender. It's all to do with this sender. I mean, how are we supposed to do this? This API comes from the make widget, so I can't add the sender here to it, right? So if I implemented make widget for form state, then I can't get the sender, but I need the sender. I need the sender. I got to get the sender from somewhere. What am I supposed to do here? What? Form. Can't call result on the form. Because we need to store the form. And we need to store the form so that we can call the update method on it. This is all manner of dumb. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Are we? Do I have to go down the whole like ref cell rabbit hole malarkey? I don't want to do that. I just want an option. I can't get the result from the form because I'm passing the form to this thing. What am I supposed to do? We're not getting very far today, are we? I honestly don't know what to do right now. I don't know. I don't know. I hate getting stuck with this stuff. I really do. What can we do? What can we do? I mean, we need the validations so that we can call validations. The validations comes in form. We need the form to get the result as well. But we need to pass the form to this, and then passing the form to this causes the problem. And we can't. Right, this is all going terribly wrong. So what we're going to do, create unit assignment 1. Fail. Commit. Okay. So we've made a note of where we were as in the form of a commit. What can we do about this? What can we do? I'm really struggling to see what we could do here. Like, we can't do this, right? Because the form needs to move into this closure so that result can be called on it. Let's just see if that compiles, just for a moment. It will compile, but it's not going to work because the update method in the process message is never going to get a form. It's always going to be an option none, right? Okay, let me put this back and move it here again, right? And this, I have an idea. Self dot create assignment unwrap, right? Oh, we don't need a reference here. And then it moans about what? Make widget is not satisfied for what? Oh, was it? The autocomplete is screwing me up. And now it just complains about this. But that's okay. Because surely we can go back to this. I mean, maybe. Probably here we can't use self because we need to copy things. Right. Can we do this? No. Because this reference needs to live forever. But Is it going to be one of these ref cells? Do we need a ref cell for this? Let's try and use a... Let's try and use a ref cell. Dynamically check borrow rules. Okay. We're going to try that. Right. We've got a ref to a something. I don't want a ref. How do we use ref cell again? Who remembers? I don't remember. I mean, it's true. So we've got form ref, and then we've got borrow. Let's deal with these one at a time. So no method called update. Yeah, it's true. And then we're just dealing with this one. So trait wrapper widget is not implemented for a ref cell, which is true. Let's deal with this. What do we do here? And then let's just compile this for a second. But you get, when you call borrow, you get a ref. How do you? Do this on it? Forget. Or is it one of these, when you dereference it, is it one of these? Oh, or do we do... Who remembers how to use the RefCell API? I don't. No. What am I supposed to do here? This gives us a ref, right? What does this give us? It might be... I mean, what does it do? Cannot be shared between threads safely. Oh. Just one thing after another. Sync is not implemented for RefCell, which is required by some closure. Button behavior. Button behavior is implemented for should closure. I don't care about that. They're required for this because it's used within this closure. Do we... Are we just doing this in the wrong place? No. What's used within this closure? What's used within exclusion? Where? With default button. So great. Uh, do we need to move anything? Let's just. I'm pretty sure we do because we've got these. Yeah. Okay. Let's just put that back. What are we supposed to do? Are we only supposed to do this like once and always create the form and then just show it later when we get the handle? Create the form, create the validations, put this in there, and we create the form, and then we do all the stuff. Okay, let's not do any of that stuff that we just did. Let's not do that. Okay, so we've got this create display create unit assignments file. How about we split this up into two things? One which displays it, and the other one which creates. And yes, we've got a method called create unit assignment modal. No, that is not a typo. Okay, create, maybe build, perhaps. But you know, we'd have the same problem if I had another form which was called build something. So whatever. And here we're going to go handle.show, right? And where does this handle go? I mean, what happens to itself? Handle.show. But this handle comes from... Where does it come from? I don't know. Probably there. Right, and this... oh, what's it going to take? I don't want it to mutate self. I want it to return a form of something. Perhaps. Like this. And we're just going to put usize here, and then we're going to look at this. Create unit assignment form, because I can't remember what it's supposed to be return. Create unit assignment form. Yeah, handle Do we need to return the form here? No. I'm getting completely lost with what I even need to return right now. Do we need to return a form and a handle? We're not calling this method. I'm just trying to get it to compile at this point. So form here is, it still says it's used after that it's been, yeah, so we can't ever return it still. It's a nightmare, this is. It's a nightmare. What if... I don't know how to get the state out of this thing. Yeah. Feels like a hands in the air and give up moment to me. You know, one of those. Why do I need to return a form? I need what? I need the form so that I can call update on it. That's the whole problem. There's a method on here. This one. I need to call this mutably. Just so that I can do this. The things you have to do. Just really, really not sold on these reactive frameworks at all. This is just so... I mean, I don't know. Really, really not sold on it. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of all these changes as well. Because they're rubbish. No, fail. Third time. What can you do? You're a pointer to it, yeah. No. Let's not do that. Any ideas, anybody? I mean, what does the update method need to do? Let's have a look at the update method again, just for a moment. The update method needs to take the message, and if the message is this one, then it needs to mutate the state by getting the design name and the design variant out from the state and updating this. Okay. All right. Fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that specifically. What about... So we can't call result on it, right? We can keep hold of the form, but the problem is we can't call result on it. If we comment out this for a moment and just go should close. Right, that compiles. Right. So is there anything else we could do instead of this? Now we've got a sender. So how about we try and move this code somewhere else? So instead of sending these arguments here from the result, which is what we actually want to do, let's just use the sender in a stupid way. Like this. So we've got OK was clicked, and we don't care about the validations. So we're just gonna, I'm just gonna get rid of this, put them there for the moment. And we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna comment out all this, and we're gonna move this somewhere else later. And we're gonna use the sender to go send. And we're gonna say a new project message. And we're gonna come up with something. Dumb message. I don't know. We'll give it a better name later. But this is how I'm feeling, so this is how it's going to go. Dumb message. Sender send dot sent. Okay. Oh no. Spect sent. Okay. And we're going to add a dumb message to the project message. Right. And now what we're going to do is move this somewhere else. I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to, because we don't need these validations apparently. Oh, and then we've got now we're on. Oh, this is just a nightmare. Let's just put this comment to the code here, and I'll show you why it's a nightmare now. Okay. The reason it's a nightmare now because this closure wants a should close at the end of it. But we don't know the answer until we've tried to use the validations. But we might not need to actually send a message yet. So maybe we can return close and then look at the state of the form, which still exists because we've still got the state saved in a ref cell or something, or an option somewhere. Okay. So okay, we'll put the validations back. Oh my god. And then we're going to go and then we've got to clone the validations again. Oh, I keep control tabbing. And if the validations is valid, I keep doing that. Then we just send a message. And we say should close is close. Uh-huh. Right. And now somewhere down here, we've got this. We've got this dumb message that gets sent when the form is valid. And at that point, perhaps we can actually use that commented out code, which is hiding somewhere here. Let's steal all this. Right. There's a lot of scrolling in this. All right, we're just going to slap that in there for now. And we're just going to say project action none. For now. Then we're just going to uncomment it and see what we actually need. Oh, not like that, we're not. We're going to uncomment it like this, perhaps. Now, we've dealt with the validations. We know it's valid at this point. So we can get rid of all this. And the fact that it's doing should close here, because we moved that somewhere else. So now we've got a call result on the form. But we can probably do that now. So let's go. Let form is self dot blah 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 form, and then we're going to take the form out of it because this message is only going to get sent once. Right. And then we can go self dot sender. Yeah. Then we can say create unit assignment with the arcs. I mean, technically, we can actually just do that a bit. We could just move this code into here, but and then rename this dumb message to create unit assignment, and then just I suppose so. Let's rename this to something not quite so whatever. I don't know. Create unit assignment form valid. I don't like it as I don't know, on. I don't really want to put on in the names of messages. How about we go is valid? We're making a statement. The form is valid. So we take the form and then there's no form. And then at some point a new form will be created with defaults. And that's another reason why we don't want to create the form once, because we want to have the form reset every time we open it. Is this going to work? It should do, I think. That might compile. Okay, I think we're making progress. But we had to jump through a hell of a lot of hoops to do that. That was stupid. So we've got create unit assignment. And let's just go OK and see what happens. It says file name not found. Let's go design a variant A. Now, let's put... No. I was thinking... No, hold on. I was thinking about putting a breakpoint there and looking at the name of the file that it was trying to look at. I suppose we could go back into this and make it show us that. Yeah, let's just do that real quick. Um, let's go debug. And then print out the file name. Can we do debug on the path? Does path have debug? Do we just want to print it out anyway? Okay, I'm going to put a breakpoint there and run it in debug mode. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm going to take that off there for a moment and just run it. And then I'm going to look in the log. Now, I'm not entirely convinced by this way of validating, because it's going to validate every time I press a key, and it's going to look on the file system for another file every time I press a key. Design a I'm not, maybe it's cheap, maybe it's not, design a variant. So this is the name of the file here that it's trying to look for, right? I forgot that I was actually printing it there in the label. So I guess that's good. I'm going to press OK. Then we're going to look in the log. And here we've got design a variant a placements.cfp does not exist. Right. Now, where's it looking for that file? You see, because is it looking in the current directory for that file? Because if so, that's not correct. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Problems. So what we've got is a directory which contains this file, and it's supposed to be looking in here for it. Right, that's where it's supposed to be. For example, here's another one. So we've got design name underscore default underscore placements.csv, which is the same kind of thing. Right? That's another one. And that lives inside the project directory, which lives adjacent to the project file name. Let's just copy the column header for this just for now. Right. So that file does now exist, but this form is still too dumb. It might be another problem as well. Like, when you press OK, does it revalidate that? It's not going to, is it? Because only when the update. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh no. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, doesn't it? Let's get rid of that. So every time you press OK, let's just see what happens in the log. You press OK, and it doesn't try and look on the file system for the file again. And it should do, because I finished typing and everything's fine, and I go and put the file in the right place and press OK, and it should revalidate it again. But it doesn't. Great. Next problem to solve. Oh my god. Oh my god. So in order to work around that, I'd have to like press space and then go back again, and then it would look for the file again. Thus. But we don't want to. You don't want to tell the user to do that. That's silly. We need to force revalidation when you're pressing OK. Oh, it's just, oh dear. Okay, so let's go back to the form. We've got an on key. We've got a, no. And this, I shouldn't have to put any of this code in the project file. It should be handled within the create unit assignment module. Right. So it would be somewhat dumb, in my opinion, to try and put this code. I'm trying to find the method here. We've got the buttons. You see, I'm not entirely convinced a lot of this code belongs here either, but there we are. It should just... This is crazy. Like, is the real sane, like, alternative approach to this not to try and create methods which take mutable self on the form and just take clones of the dynamics that they need to update and create associated functions which take clones of the dynamics that they need to update? Because that's mad to me. It's just like, so what we could do is, in this on key thing, we could have a clone of the design name, and we could have a clone of the variant name, and we could call an associated function on a clone of the placement's file name. And then that associated function would take these two clones and update this clone. And then the dynamics would get triggered. But that just seems mad to me, just to create clones of dynamics all over the place. Because you have to... This code down here, this on-key stuff, would just be mad. Every one of these would just be like, let blah equals clone the thing that I need. Let blah equals clone the thing. And what if you need 10 things to do it? No. It's just no. That alternative is no. Is no good. No. No. No, it does make more sense in my head to have little methods like this which use the encapsulated form state. Dear. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I'm going to make a note of this so that we don't forget it. Fix me if the file didn't exist And then the user placed the file in the right place, then clicked OK. The form should be revalidated. Yeah. I mean, you've got this validation. You've got validation. What can we do with this validation? I'm just curious. Reset. Validate. I mean, what's this supposed to do? Is this? But I don't have a dynamic T of anything. Yeah, this is just creating a validations. So this creates a validation, and this creates a. What happens with this? I mean, is there? Let's look at the cushy examples again. There was this login form or something. This. We've got two fields. But no, I mean, the information isn't valid unless you can log in. You see, this example is incomplete. You see? I mean, do you show an error message? Yeah. What? It's not valid. If you type in a username and password that are incorrect, you want the form to redisplay itself again. And you need a call to a service which tells you whether the whole form result as a whole is valid or not. And then you tell the user to fix the problems based on the results that you get. I don't know. I'm not convinced by it. I think there's missing. I mean, it feels that way to me. It feels like there's missing implementation somewhere, unless I'm just not seeing it, which I don't appear to be seeing it. Yeah. Well, that's a problem. Just I've solved some of these problems like 20 years ago, and I'm just tired of solving these problems like form validation. I didn't think that in 2025 I'd be writing more bloody form validation code stuff again. I really didn't. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of doing form validation stuff. Okay, so we've got to fix me. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, we're sort of... bad, we're just going to call it. I don't like it. Right. So we're still not looking for the file in the right place. How do we know what directory to look in? We don't. There is nothing that I can write in here which built it, because what we need to do is somehow get the right directory. We need to get the right directory. We need to be given the right directory. What do we need to do? We need to go... what? I suppose we can do what? Let do is path buff what new, and then self dot project path clone. Oh dear. Oh, we don't have self here. Okay. What do we do here? No. I need other information to decide whether something is valid or not. No. So, no. Let's just go boo. Oh, we got moo this time. Yeah, I mean, like, that's essentially what we're doing, but we want to go like that, maybe. Oh dear, no, no. Oh dear, no, 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 no. I mean, do we pass the path over here, or do we just, it's like, am I thinking about this wrong? Am I supposed to be unlearning years of software development? Probably. And exactly, self escapes the method body. Yeah. Oh dear. What? Put the path in a dynamic? But the path never changes. Why do I want a dynamic for it? I mean, do I need to do that here? I mean, at the point where we create the widget, we've got self. Does the path ever change at the point you create? No, I suppose it doesn't. Let's go. Let's not do that then. This is just, I don't like it. I really don't. I don't know. Let's go. Let's make this. And then go placement path dot push. You push, don't you? And then you push the placements file name to it. But that doesn't do anything. It just mutates it. And then does exist for path? Yeah, maybe. How do you create path buffs from a path again? Path buff from, yeah. Why is it complaining? Trait pounds to path, what? Project path, why? What's the problem? Why? Why does it need to be a reference? Okay. I'll run with that for now. This is true. We need to put that back again. We need to go whatever. Let's just, yeah. But we need to specify that, put the path over. So state dot project path. No. Self dot project path. No. Project path. Let project path is self dot project path. And then clone it. Yay! Oh, we love cloning everything. And we got to wrap this. Okay. And then we've got the thing that we're trying to validate, which is the placements file name. And now we need to add project path onto here, which is going to be what? Path, isn't it? Is there a clone on? Oh, great. There's no clone on a path. Of course there's not. Of course there's not. Yeah. Something weird happened. Okay. Fine. With OBS just then. Well, what do we do? How do what? Why is there no clone on a path? Yeah. Why doesn't path have a clone on it? That seems a bit odd. Well, I guess we don't need to clone it because we actually wanted a reference here, I think, anyway. Maybe we don't. Maybe it's okay. Maybe everything's fine. Doesn't have a size known at compile time. Fine. So this probably needs to be a path bar, which is kind of like a string, but the other one is not. Fine. So now we've got problems. New, and then we need a project path, which is going to be a path buff. Sure. And then now we need to pass that over. Project. And we need to get that from somewhere. Let's just create a new one just temporarily. Let's just deal with all the validation malarkey and just see what happens. We move. Is this one of these cases? No. Why do we need self here? We don't need self here. We are supposed to be what? Okay. So now we've got something that we can clone. I suppose we can do that here. Do we always want to clone it every time? I don't know. Can I move it out? Yeah, project move because has type path buff, which doesn't implement copy. Yeah, it's true. Why? What? I thought that's the way you do it. I'm creating it here and I'm passing it over here. Why? Not getting anywhere fast today, are we? What's the problem with that? I mean, should this be a reference here? Okay. I mean, it'll work, but slightly confuzzling. So we've got this project path, which comes from here, which needs to be initialized somewhere. Which needs to come from here. Right. So we've got a project. We're in the project thing. What does a project have? I totally forget. Project. It's got a path. We've got a path for it. Is that the name of the file or the name of the directory? Yeah. I guess we'll find out when we try and use it. Right? I I don't remember. Self.path. I guess I don't know what. Clone that? I don't know. Do we need to clone it there? Really? Project path? Yeah. Let's just see what it does now. I guess we could be slightly smarter than this before we run it. We can go and look to see where this gets initialized. Because there's paths and there's files and there's directories and everything in there. So path here is the project file path. But create project, we've got a directory here, you see. So we've got a directory. So we could put that in the project. Let's see what our project new is called. So we've got create project. And we've also got from path. Which takes a path. Which doesn't have a directory. So in one case we've got a directory, in the other case we've not got a directory. So I suppose in the from path case, and let's just look at where we use this for a moment. Yeah. Let's just go self dot directory. And let's implement that. And then this is going to be what? Let directory self dot path dot clone dot parent. What is that? But that gives you a path. Temporary. Oh, okay. Fine. You know, whatever. Maybe we should only do this once in the constructor, this directory thing, but I'm just going to do it like this for now. And maybe I call this once in the constructor and we keep a copy of the directory forever inside the project. I don't know yet. Because in one constructor we could initialize it and then the other constructor could call this method. But for now we'll just call it. Okay. Does it work? So let's see. So design a variant A. It worked. It worked. We know that it worked because the error went away. If I put B there, it goes file not found. If I put A there, it goes hey. Did we actually achieve something? Finally. 2 hours and 20 minutes of mostly pain and copy and paste. Working, but unfinished. Okay. So we've got some issues with translations and things. Let's just look at what translations were needed. Yeah. Form, create, unit, assign, input, placements, file name. That one. Form, create, unit, assignments, input. Placements, file name. Okay. And we've got, I mean, the file not found one is a fairly common one. So I think maybe we go form file not found. Rather than the crazy long thing that we just had. Let's go to the validation. This thing. Yeah, it's more general than that, isn't it? So if we go with that, and let's move this down here. Yeah, and then copy these into here. And then translate those using this. Fichero no encontrado. I'm not sure whether that's correct. Still, fichero is file in Spanish? I'm not sure. Well, you know, someone can correct them at some point who's got better Spanish than me, so it's fine. But at least it gets them started. Nombre de... See, look. Aquí es archivo, pero aquí tengo fichero. Placements. Placements. I'm not... Oh, the terminology in Spanish. No sé. I don't know. I really don't know. What do Spanish people call pick and place machine placements? Okay, let's see. Let's just go error file not found and see what it says. See, yeah, here it says this. I'm going to go with archivo. No encontrado. Porque es ahí también. Because it's there too. Yeah. All right. Now what? Let's restart it and see what happens. Oh, it's a world of pain today, this is. I wasn't expecting this to be anywhere near as painful. Design. See, it says file not found now and placements file name. I don't think we need this required hint here. That is probably not right. Where did we add it? We've still got to finish this, haven't we, as well? Let's find an input validate. Oh, this hint required. Can we come up with a better hint than that? Form field required. Let's say hint like this. And then in the translations, put something generated from design name and variant name. Do we need a hint? Is it just better not to have this? I'm just going to remove it. I don't think we really need a hint for that. Okay, let's reorganize this as well. Because here we've got this 6 thing here, and then let's rename this to... Oh, we can't do that. Oh dear. We've got to futz around. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but this will work for now. I guess probably what we should probably do, instead of doing gutter row 1, let's call it... And then I can rearrange them without doing that gutter. Let's do that. Probably going to work out better in the long run. Yeah, I suppose it's a row gutter. I was thinking about whether it's just a gutter as opposed to a row gutter, but it is a row gutter. And now I can reorder the things in it without having to change the numbers here, which is going to be better. Right. So now we can take our placements file name thing and we need to move the gutter as well. Take that and move it just after where the other 2 things are created here. There. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. We're good. Let's restart that. Plop. Might be time for some food soon. Design. So it says file not found. Okay, let's do this. Right. Let's see what happens now, because we're not gonna deal with whatever happens now in this stream. That's for another day. Let's just see what the world has got in store for us. Okay. So, were there any errors? I don't think there were. Unit assignment added. And we got the silly message, create the thing, and then it creates the unit assignment, and then it calls result on it. And then it says it added it. This is good. I think it might actually work. So let's have a quick look before I press save. at the project. Let's look at the project. This one, right. So the project currently looks like this. And it doesn't have any placements or unit assignments in it. And then if we press save, now we've got some unit assignments. Amazing. And it doesn't have any placements because there were no placements in the CSV file. What have I set myself up for in this? Honestly, I'm just thinking about like I want to add a placement, and the amount of things you've got to do in order to do it. Yeah. Just not sure about this. Just not sure about this. You think you know what you think you know what you want. Wait. Is that right? You think you know what you want. Yeah, no, that's right. But then you think you might not. So we've added design A and variant A unit assignment. Amazing. Well, okay. Let's just finish off this for today then. Right. Yeah, let's run it again. Let's have a quick look at the dialogue, which now has this, which is good. And then just switch it to Spanish. And see, we're going to have a problem here. Because at the moment, I can enter the same things again. And this is a problem. But this isn't for today. Like, we should be able to do that. But not that. Yeah. This is still valid though. Yeah. So now we've got two singles. So now we're saying we're going to build two single PCBs. And therefore we need to make sure that our loadout has got sufficient parts and all the rest of it. We can start placing them, check the status and all this kind of thing. Oh my god. Yeah. Save. Why not? And then just quickly look at the. Now we've got. Quickly look at the project, and now we've got two. There it is. There's many ways that this can go wrong at the moment. We're going to have to deal with lots of edge cases. And at the point we start dealing with the edge cases, we might come back and think the entire design is wrong. But, you know. Let's just borrow these from here now. And just plop them in there like this. And then save that file. And then close it, reopen it. And I'm curious to know whether it refreshes the placements in the project if I press save on here. Because I don't remember. Yeah, we don't have any placements or anything like that in here yet. Let me just see. I'm just trying to break it. So if we, no, not open. If we create another unit assignment using that updated placements file, I think that forces it, not design B. PCB instance 3. Unit 1, yeah. And then press save. See, now we've got the placements in there, which it read from the file, which is good. And it's got single 1, unit 1, ref des A. Single 2, unit 1, ref des A. And single 3, unit 1, ref des A. So this is good. But I think when you open it, it should probably refresh the placements. And there probably needs to be a refresh button somewhere. And probably it needs to happen automatically so you don't have to keep pressing refresh. But you know, progress. Progress. And of course, this stuff is all happening here because we did it all in the CLI and in the core as well. And the CLI and the main app uses the core. So when it opens the project, it refreshes the project. And it does that by looking at all the units. And then, depending on what design variants there are, it updates all the list of components and placements from the files, which is good. So at least we got all that right, you know, back in what, July or August or something. So this is good. And then we've got the status. It knows about the part, which is good, but it's not placed it yet. This is good. This is good. This is definite progress. This is. Okay. Okay. Fine. We can't delete these yet. I don't know what's going to happen when we try and delete these. This is going to be a nightmare. And what happens if you try and delete the PCB? And is this project valid because you've added PCBs but you haven't assigned any units to it? I mean, do we need to show the status somewhere to say that the project is okay and all? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, what happened if there was an error in the placements file? You know, there's many things we need to look at and decide what we're going to do about it. Anyway, enough of that. Let's do the commit and go done. Okay. And then let's do Rust format because, and let's see what it's going to actually do. It's going to tell us that we were very naughty and we created lines that were too long. And just no. We're just going to Rust format. And then we're going to go formatted. Then what we're going to do is squash all that. Oh, and I suppose if I do squash on all these, then I can get to edit the commit message. So what do we do here? We update the planner GUI to show and validate the placements file name. Which was painful. When what? Creating unit assignments. We've got some issues with it as well, but you know. Okay. What was that? It was create unit assignments on dash for only, and then cargo test, and then maybe push. Oh, we got errors. Oh dear. I suppose we should build that and check the warnings. Oh yeah, we've got some unused warnings. So we don't need fuzz. We don't need path. We don't need label. We don't care about the key there or here. Let's build again. And we'll amend that commit and everything's going to be fine. There we go. And I suppose we need to Rust format check again. Oh, dearie me. And then we'll amend it again. If this was SVN, oh dear. Who remembers SVN? Life before Git. Git push origin master, right? Everything's fine. Right. So just remember, folks, it's only software. How hard can it be? We'll find out on the next one. See ya. Bye.